I've never, as I said, I never lost faith. And we have always been confident about the merits of my case. And even when we first filed my petition for bail, nung before, matagal na kami nag-file ng bail, we were already confident of the merits of that. It's just unfortunate that the previous handling judge denied it. And so when we filed our motion for reconsideration, I think it was in June 13, we remained to be confident that the merits of our application for bail will be recognized and upheld by the court. And it took this long, understandably, because the judge is a new judge. So we had to review the entire voluminous records of the case. We were actually expecting a ruling as early as September, because as I said, we filed the motion for reconsideration in June. So medyo tumagal, understandably again, and ito nga. And I think, kasi nakita ko nga, ano ko pa nga nababasa, it was a thorough and extensive discussion of the merits of our motion for reconsideration. So it is a legal adjudication because we were always confident. I cannot further make any comment about that. I have a lot to say about that. But, it's still pending. The case is still pending. This is bail, this is provisional liberty, and this is definitely a great gift from the Almighty.
Ang last question lang po for me. Yung Marcos administration po, sinasabi po nila po ulit na the justice system is working in the Philippines, and in response to your latest legal victory, Justice Secretary Crispin Remulla, this is po yung statement niya. It just shows the independence of the judiciary, but I've always been saying from the beginning, and that they are free to decide as they please, as they plead. Any reaction naman po sa statement po ni Justice Secretary?
I actually thank the administration for respecting the independence of the judiciary and the rule of law. Ganun lang naman, as somebody said, the legitimacy of the judiciary lies in its independence. It's just like, the legitimacy of the government or the legitimacy of the executive department or of the government, the elected officials lie in the votes of the people. So judiciary, it's the independence. Without the independence of the judiciary, then we cannot say that the judiciary really has its legitimate standing in the scheme of things. So, tama yan na sinasabi na pinakita ngayon na we have a working system. Kasi matagal nga namin hinihintay na. When the Marcos administration came in, there was some hope, at least in my case, that justice will happen. And kasi nga, I always knew that while the former president was in power, I will not be set free. Because my persecution was his project. So how can I be set free during his term? So nung nagbago na yung administrasyon, may pag-asa talaga. At umasa talaga ako na umasa na makakamit ko yung justisya at malalaman natin yung katotohanan about my innocence. But again, ayaw ko lang muna pagkagaling yung mga ganyan statement. Medyo nasobrahan na lang.
Okay. Thank you, Sen. One question po for Sen Marisa. Any message po for Sen Leila now that she's feeling like we finally met each other again?
You did it, Leila. Konti na lang. Konti na lang. And napakalaking vindication ito sa buong posisyon. Itong vindication sa iyo. Kasi sa lahat natin, ikaw talaga yung sumalubong sa pinakamakikita ako dahil sa dating presidente. Ikaw talaga yung sinirang puri niya, sinubukan namin. Ikaw talaga yun. Wineponize na yung buong legal system. system para lang parusahan ka kasi ikaw yung unang nag-investiga sa kanya. You continue to speak truth to power. At kahit sinubukan niyang tambakan ka ng ng mga ako naman sasabi ng kaso hindi naman ikaw sasabi. Na-survive mo lahat yan. Na-survive mo yung stroke. Na-survive mo yung stage taking. Hindi ka tumigil magsalita sa mga issue. Libo na siguro yung mga handwritten letters mo from Crown. And here you are. Here you are. So itong pagpapayag sa wakas na makapost ka ng bail at yung nakipinta mo ganap na paglaya. Ano parang sumilip ka ulit yung sigat ng araw. At alam natin, napakatagal ng gabi na maraming kababayan natin. Once sumilip yan, kahit sa mga gawa. So we're also happy to have you with us. And we all love you. Yeah. Pagkatapos ng mga luha ng paglaya mo,
and you also write me regularly. Susulatan kami.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Senator Leila. Our next asked question is Angela Alimario from Senator Leila.
Hi ma'am, good evening po. Hi ma'am, almost 7 years in detention. And you've mentioned about surviving persecution. Do you plan to go after your persecutors? Do you plan to sue them? And your message to former President Rodrigo Duterte?
First, yung message ko kay President Duterte, isa lang, God forgive him and God bless him. Yun lang muna ngayon. Marami pa akong pwedeng sabihin sa kanya. Pero wag muna. I don't want to be so, I don't want to be political sounding tonight because this is a moment of joy. This is a triumphant moment for me. So I, as much as possible, I want to be gracious. And so yun na lang muna. God forgive him and God bless him. He knows what he did to me. I suppose.
Any plans of counter-suing or whatever going after?
Pinag-uusapan namin yan ng mga ako. Wala ko yung mga specific na mga pwede i-announce about that. There's always that option, but as to definite plans, pinag-uusapan. Of course, there will be, I need to do something also. A lot of things to do. Hindi po, madali, napakahirap, masakit talaga, yung pagpunta ng mga pagkasal. It's a matter of justice. Those that need to be held accountable should be held accountable. Senator, I know you said that you have no regrets over what happened. But what was the lowest point in those 6 years, 8 months, 21 days? And what pulled you through? Well, isa sa mga, was, of course, sa personal life, sa family life, kasi may mga milestones sa family na mga na-miss ko. Like, for example, when my son, Vincent, passed the bar exams, and I was not allowed to attend his graduation. Masakit para sa akin yan. And then it's always
painful to me that I'm not with my mom, my 91-year-old ailing mom who's now bedridden. So isa nga yan sa mga una kong gagawin. Umuwi ka agad ako sa Bicol para makapiling ko ang aking ina. And we haven't seen each other for more than 4 years already. So itong homecoming na to, this will give her the best Christmas gift. I definitely would want to see her already. Siya excited na rin siguro. Kanina, nung nasa court ako, pinakausap sa akin ng brother ko sa cellphone niya, yung mami ko. And she's waiting for me. And so, yun, masakit sa akin yun, mawawala ka sa pamilya. And of course, yung mga nawawala, mga wala na sa mundo ito, mga kamag-anak, mga kaibigan, yung nawala si Pinoy, I was so down and I could not even pay my last respects. And some other friends, some other allies like si Sir Philippine. Masakit din sa akin not being able to say goodbye yung mga wala na. And I'm of course updated with the news because meron naman akong newspapers and my staff would send me printed copies of news articles, online articles. And nakikita ko naman ng mga nagiging developments and whether are good news or bad news or sad news and all that. But really, those more than 6 years of being alone, because I've always considered my detention, my unjust detention, as both a curse and a blessing. It's a curse because I don't deserve it at all. It's a blessing because there are many things also that I've learned while in detention. I became more prayerful. I became closer to the Lord because so much time to pray, to read the Bible, to reflect, to do contemplative prayer and all that. So those are blessings. And then I have learned to appreciate mundane things, small things in life. Pag umuulan, lumalabas ako sa quarters ko, para lang obserbahan yung ulan and all that. And then I have stray cats in my quarters. That's why I was so sad. I was almost crying when I left Calcutta today or to school today because I had to leave the cats there. They're in my companions. They kept my sanity intact. So, mga ganun po. It's a purifying experience. Pero pag may mga bisita ako, and then they would say, you can imagine what you feel. And then I'm tempted to say, no, you can never imagine what I feel. Even though it's only when you go through this also yourself. But I developed a very routinary daily life in my detention. It's a very routinary daily life. And my problem now is how to adjust. Kasi magiging iba na ang aking routine.
Thank you, Senator Leila. Any more questions? Mara, please.
Thanks, Leila. Mara from the Straits Times. You've always been a very vocal figure in the Philippine opposition. What do you think, ma'am, are the implications of your release today for the Philippine opposition now? Your presence into the open world, I'm sure, do you think it would it help invigorate the opposition forces, especially now that kakaunti lang po sila ngayon sa Kongreso? What's your message for the opposition figures and the opposition people in the opposition movement who are of course very happy that you're released?
First of all, my fight for my advocacies will continue. And my advocacies are really shared with the opposition. Fight for the truth, fight for justice, fight for rule of law, fight for democracy, fight for sovereignty. And definitely I'll be working side by side with the opposition. I remain to be an opposition. And I will be the opposition because we share